Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Formula One Fans UK podcast. I'm Reese and I'm joined today by
Chris,
Dan,
and Tim.
Thank you, Alarm, on countdown sync timer for restarting. And as you can see, things are running as smooth as ever.
It's because Tim's joined us again. That's what it is. Maybe an upgrade or a downgrade from the American. I'm not quite sure.
Well,
probably a sideways step, I would say.
Sideways step. But anything's an upgrade from Mercedes' strategy.
Don't you mean a Ferrari strategy after today?
It could, yeah. I guess it could be worse.
You could start both cars in the top 7 and then finish 11th and 16th.
It was just a shambles. Just like, what were they thinking? Just the worst bit is they got done not once but twice on the same thing.
Anyway, we haven't started that yet. I need to say something.
Go for it.
Okay, I've not been here for 2 weeks, but I've still listened to the podcasts.
Oh crap!
I am not Irish. I'm not your little Irish friend. I'm Northern Irish.
It still has
I'm
Irish in it though.
Right now. What? Sorry?
It still has Irish in it.
No, can we not go down this political wormhole?
Yeah, let's not get into that. It would be a whole mess, a whole hot napalm car bomb mess.
Yeah, I'll teach you about car bombs if you want.
I'd rather we didn't because we're a motorsports podcast and we like it when our cars run. And if anything goes bang, it's a Ferrari engine.
It's a Ferrari engine.
They haven't had one go bang yet this year, have they?
Cease and desist.
I think more Mercedes engines have blown up this year than Ferrari's engines.
Yeah, Mercedes even they're exploding and they're also imploding. This looks like it's been happening for a while. This sort of strategy cock up. Shall we talk strategy, boys?
Well, it's what the race was all about, wasn't it? So, good versus bad. Who could make them work?
I think Ferrari just did a Mercedes.
I think.
Do you mean Mercedes did a Ferrari?
No, Ferrari did a Mercedes. Not Ferrari. The other one, Red Bull.
Red Bull did a Mercedes.
Red Bull did a Mercedes.
Yes, not once but twice. It's just stupid.
Red Bull looked at Mercedes and then went Uno reverse. Is literally what they did.
But the thing that gets me right is every single person at home watching on their TV was shouting. Even the Sky One presenters going, "Someone's going to have to go for the undercut for a 2-stop," and yet Mercedes was like, "Nah, don't worry about it. We're fine."
It wasn't even that.
It was
a case of Hamilton even on the team radio said, "Okay, let's make sure we're the ones who do the undercut this time."
Yeah, and if after 17 laps your tyres are absolutely screwed, it's not going to get any better for you, is it? You're going to have to go to a 2-stop.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, when you say that, who believes what Hamilton says about tyres?
Oh yeah, obviously
yeah,
in the Discord we were calling it out, weren't we?
My tyres are knackered, but I'm pulling away from the Red Bulls.
It's a bit different though, isn't it? With oh crikey, what's going on? Sorry, boys, I think we got to restart. Hang on, what's going on? My microphone's playing up. It's recording. It's going off the wrong device. I'm sorry. Oh, that is the most annoying thing.
You fool.
And we are back. I've got away with one here. I managed to have the wrong microphone plugged in, and it was recording off the webcam.
At least it wasn't recording on echo. This time.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I have once recorded the whole podcast with echo turned on as well.
Sounded like a Pitbull track.
Oh god, where were we? We were talking about how Mercedes screwed the pooch.
Yeah.
Can we just also say, you know, when Mercedes did it at Barcelona, they called the pit stop so late. You heard it on the radio as Lewis was coming out of that chicane. Ted Gravitz told us on Sky F1 that Verstappen was coming in that lap before they'd gone through turn 10, which is before the start of the third sector. So if Ted Kravitz knew it, then surely Mercedes knew that Verstappen was coming that lap as well, and they had the time to react to set up the pit stop on the same
They
lap.
all have the
You
team
can't
radio
trust the
feed.
pit crew coming out.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think Mercedes should have been quicker to react because they were the team that was ahead.
Yeah, they should have boxed Lewis. I mean, they ballsed it up twice really with boxing Lewis, because when they pitted Valtteri, it said they had no option to do that because of the vibrations. That's fair enough, where they pitted back Valtteri first. But they then waited 2 laps to pit Hamilton rather than pitting him on the same lap as Verstappen.
Oh, we're
The
talking
first
the
one.
first
The first pit stop.
now.
First one,
Yeah.
yeah.
The first time they screwed the pooch.
Didn't Bottas pit first?
That's what I mean.
Out of all three
It
of
was
them.
Bottas, Verstappen, and then Hamilton in consecutive laps.
Then Lewis,
But they should have,
yeah.
if they had boxed Hamilton on the same lap as Verstappen, there would have been no issues. Like Lewis would
No,
have stayed in front.
that first one, they boxed him 2 laps after.
Yeah, that's
laps
what
after
Tim said.
Verstappen.
Yeah, 2 laps after. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like, this is not the first time that Mercedes have overweighted and then got stuck behind. I don't understand how they can call fantastic undercut maneuvers like they've been pulling, and then this shit. Like how is it so vastly different? Everyone was screaming at the TV, undercut, 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 undercut. It worked so well for Max first time. Then they let him do it again.
Well, even both drivers called it as well, because both drivers said, for Mercedes, this has got to be a 2-stop race. We can't do this on one stop.
Valtteri Bottas said that on lap 6 or 7 of the race, that there was going to be no chance of a one stop for any of the front teams to win the race. He said it so early on in the race. He said that he knew from the start, and then that's why he was so angry when they crossed the line, because he said 2-stop me after coming sooner than what he did on the first stop, and then they left him out after 1 stop all the way to the end of the race when he was calling for a second.
Totally. That audio from the from obviously like the driver thing on Sky was amazing. You could tell he was really peed off, like not happy at all. And to be fair though, as a viewer, I was watching it like, yeah, you tell him, Valtteri. And in the back of my mind going, you need to keep your mouth shut, son, because George is coming. You need to shush. Just go, I'm really thankful for the pit stop and the 4 tyres that come off this time. Cheers, guys.
I think Valtteri is well aware now that his time's up.
Mm.
Well, I think the pressure's on him. I think he's been given till the summer break to perform, and I think that that's why he is so red hot at the moment. It's like I'm fighting for my
Red
F1
hot.
future.
Red hot.
Red hot is in angry. Like, he is running hot. He's angry with everything at the moment. He's not red hot form.
Like, there was all this talk was saying that they were going to make an announcement at Silverstone, and now they're saying they're not going to decide the second driver until winter.
Well,
Yeah, that's
I
it.
think
They're
it'll be
not gonna
decided,
let it
but
known.
I doubt it'll be announced. Because George has said, sign me or drop me by the end of the summer.
We have spent the first 10 minutes of this podcast downing Mercedes. Let's say well done, Max Verstappen, because phenomenal drive. So similar to what Lewis did in Barcelona, he had a lot of time to make up. He judged the traffic very well. I know Perez and Bottas didn't offer much defence, but brilliant drive from Max Verstappen, and he extends his lead in the championship, which I know it's only by 8 points, but
Yeah, Verstappen was brilliant. Perez, for me, was even better because he went longer on the tyres everyone was struggling with, had less time to catch up, and still caught up Bottas and got him. And I reckon the race was another 5 laps longer. He probably would have had Hamilton too.
Yeah, because he was only 8 or so seconds behind, I think, something like that. And I think Max took 7.5 seconds out of Lewis in 4 laps. But I think Lewis did go off.
It was something like that.
I think Lewis did go off on 8/10. Yeah.
Lewis did go wide, and Lewis also did not get through the traffic well. The back markers did not help Lewis
So
in the
yeah,
slightest.
another 5 laps.
Whereas they mysteriously all disappeared when Verstappen reached them. Funny that.
But Valtteri offered 0 defense for Lewis at all. Like, he just breezed past him like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was he meant to? The car's coming like The cars coming down the road like they're bloody Rolling Stone, and you ain't gonna stop it. You ain't gonna. What's the point wasting time trying to stop him?
Because
But he did then defend for his life against Perez and kept Perez back for a lot longer than I was expecting.
Big difference between Perez and Verstappen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another way you can question Mercedes' strategies by expecting Valtteri Bottas to be able to defend from Max Verstappen. On a good day, Bottas is pretty poor defending. With tyres how he had today, he offered as much protection as a split condom.
yeah, but like we just spoke about, they haven't made. They say they haven't made a decision yet. If you're going for that second drive, you're gonna want to put up something to at least make it look like you're trying, make it look like it was difficult for him. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know.
You okay there, Tim?
Yeah. biting my tongue.
Wow.
Yeah.
I liked the euphemism. It was a good one.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you. Well, I guess we can talk a little bit more Red Bull before moving on, because it was perfectly done, and they've done something with that car that has given it a tremendous one that pace. Because all those corners, the grip was excellent, and then it was on Saturday morning that they decided, you know what, we can take some downforce off and still be as fast through the corners. They're running a skinny rear wing, and I mean, if you watch the qualifying comparison, they've made a hell of a car this year, because Verstappen was just driving away like 2/10 on the straights. He gained on Hamilton.
They're doing something illegal.
They've got no flexi wing anymore. It's this week is the week where they had to get rid of it.
That's what we can see. You can't see under that.
I think they've just
made a better car.
I think
they've made a better car. Mercedes have dropped it big time.
They just can't make a car that's all of a sudden 0.6 of a second faster than it was.
What do you mean, like Braun did? Do you mean like Mercedes did in 2014?
They had a double diffuser.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that
Mercedes have got half a second faster for the last 6 or 7 years. Like,
do you mean like Mercedes did last season when they were expected to compete with a cheating Ferrari, yet somehow made the car another half a second faster, anticipating having to catch up?
Yeah. Also, in terms of the Constructors' Championship, there's now a 38-point gap from Red Bull to Mercedes. That is a lot to make up.
No, that's not much.
When you've got 2 Red Bull cars that are now competitive.
Yeah, that's...
With Perez in there.
It's not much when you consider that it's, 25 and 17 for second?
18 for second.
18
for second plus maybe a fastest lap. You're looking at
35...
19 max.
Looking at 44 points. You can look at 44 points in race maximum.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, but you're relying then on a double DNF, aren't you, from Red Bull still, to make up 44 points? If Red Bull are still going to finish 3rd and 4th most races, it's still going to be a few races of Mercedes 1-2s to catch up.
Yeah, but or Mercedes go through a season with full reliability. I can't see Honda making it through a season without blowing.
Not with this level of engine.
Yeah, they're pushing it.
Not with this level of engine.
And I could just see a couple of failures.
I see Mercedes having a failure too. I mean, they're being pushed harder than they've been pushed in over a year.
Are they going that much faster than last year? They haven't. They've made a forward.
No, they were
because of the regulation.
Yeah, they were slower, weren't they? I think. In the
because of the floor. That's because of the changes to the floor, not because of the changes to the engine.
Yeah, but they're not going. They're not pushing their engine much more than they were before, and they're used to doing that. Whereas Honda are pushing their engine that much further than they have before. And I can't see them going a whole season pushing the engine to the limits like they are doing.
Well, they got through the first set of races, and I mean, they went a race longer than Mercedes without having to make a change.
And the change was made by choice.
Yeah, I know, but they still went a race longer.
Well, that engine will get used again.
It probably will be by Mercedes.
Yeah, it'll probably be on.
Use the engine again.
Yeah, probably be on one of the more pooper circuits.
Well, yeah, I think they would probably have gone back to it for Singapore, but there's no Singapore obviously anymore.
More like a street circuit where it's not so heavy on acceleration and straights.
How gutted must Red Bull be that there's no Singapore, by the way?
I don't know. I think if anyone's more gutted, it's Ferrari with how strong they were in Monaco.
Cease and desist.
Well, we've had 2 seasons assists already, I think, from the Ferrari fans.
Yeah, but we were nice to them in the early podcasts, so what? They can't have it, or they can't have it all. Yeah,
we were nice to them.
We were nice to them a couple of weeks
ago. To be fair,
yeah,
we were probably nice on the first ones that Tim done before he sacked us off.
We were all gutted at Monaco, weren't we?
Yeah.
For them? Even the hardest Mercedes fan must have been a bit disappointed that Leclerc didn't make the start. Shall we move on? From McLaren?
Yeah, I would love to talk about McLaren. Because
hold on, we've just got to talk about Ferrari.
Hang on.
We've done. Will we not do Ferrari? You know, where they finished at the back.
You can't just say let's talk about Ferrari and then let's go and talk about McLaren.
All right, we'll go.
Let's stick with Ferrari. Let's stick with Ferrari. 11th to 16th, qualified well, didn't race well.
Absolutely shocking. And is this a sign of things to come? You know, you lose your main sponsor for a while, and
I don't think that's got anything. I think they're still paying for it. It's just they can't use a tobacco sponsor in the
because
or in Europe.
They need to change it.
I wonder.
Did you?
I wonder if they'll have it on at Silverstone.
Because
I don't think they will.
Technically non-EU.
Yeah,
it's still a tobacco sponsorship, isn't it? Which isn't allowed over here.
It wasn't allowed technically, but they ran it.
Yeah, they ran it at Imola.
And Barcelona.
Yeah, that's true.
I just think that they really need to change the name.
Who cares? Who cares? It's a horrible looking thing, and I'm glad it's off the car.
Yes, but then when we get used to it not being there, it will come back, and we'll be like, there it is again. Mission win eventually.
But
Monza.
With that though, with that sponsorship, that Mission Winnow, is it?
Mission Winnow.
It shows up on a MotoGP race, like every race, on the Ducatis. They don't take it off the whole season.
Maybe it's a money issue. Maybe we'll have to look into it. If anybody knows why they can't run it every race, get back to us on some of our socials,
I'm sure
guys.
There was tobacco sponsorship and the laws and whatever, but...
Yeah, but Mission Winnow is like an engineering development. It's not just all tobacco.
Yeah, but it's Marlboro.
Yeah, but it's with what Mission Winnow?
Yeah, it's Marlboro.
Are they the same?
Yeah.
So let us know on www.whatthefuck.com.
Let's talk about what they messed up on here, which was pretty much everything from qualifying onwards, from the end of qualifying.
Yeah.
Ferrari just.
They pitted Leclerc far too early, and they pitted Sainz far too late. Which
I don't know, but it seems to have worked out better for Sainz. It worked out better for Sainz than it did Leclerc, by some standard. But
Sainz only one stopped, whereas Leclerc had to 2 stop, pretty much on safety grounds by the end, because he stopped on lap 13 or 14, and then expected to go to the end.
Yeah. Right, so I think that's enough Ferrari because, let's just move on.
They don't listen to us anyway, Ferrari fans. We've pissed them off way too long ago. Let's talk about a team which we know we have some followers of, and that's Ricardo with McLaren with.
Sorry, Darren.
Sorry, McDarren as they're now known. Lando Norris is phenomenal.
Lando was my driver of the day.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. And
I voted for Ricardo as my driver of the day. The pair of them were brilliant from lap 1. Well, not from lap 1 because they both lost places on lap 1, but lap 2.
I will openly put my hand up that I voted for Stroll because I felt really sorry for him coming from the back, and he didn't have a bad finish. So
he got a point. He got a point from
exactly. Yeah, he managed to make it top 10. So
yeah, he got top 10.
Norris got qualified, but by his teammate, but finished in front of him.
No, Norris qualified 8th and Ricciardo finished 10th.
Ricciardo qualified 10th.
Ricciardo qualified 10th. And
Yes,
Norris
we get it to him. Chris was wrong. Don't let him suffer it more.
But no. But there was some absolutely cracking driving by both of them. To be fair, at one point or maybe two.
Norris,
sorry, you go, Christopher.
When Norris did that overtake on, I'm not sure who. He drove down the inside.
Gasly.
Oh, what on the inside of Gas? On the inside of? Oh no, it wasn't.
Gasly, yeah,
wasn't it?
It was Alonso on the inside. No, he went on the
Ferrari.
inside of Alonso through Sienna, whatever it was, the sweeping right-hander after the end of the straight.
We need thingy. He knows all these corner names.
Yeah, it was up the inside of Team.
Isn't that
Up the inside of Scene?
But that overtake when he drove just threw it in the inside. That was
Yeah, that was on Alonso.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Alonso.
I did legit think that they were going to take each other out at several points in the race. Oh, they're just going to come together in a minute and just wipe each other out.
Norris was fuming, wasn't he, when he got forced off at turn 1?
Was it turn 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was turn 1. Not in the race. Not on the first lap, but there was a bit later in the race. And Ricciardo shoved him off.
I didn't think that. I thought he got annoyed with Gasly shoving him off.
No, it was. It was
earlier on in the
that.
race, long before that, he got annoyed at Ricciardo, and he was fuming on the radio.
Yeah, because he got annoyed at Gasly too for shoving him off. But still, 5th and 6th. Yeah. Just great racing, really. Couldn't fault them.
Before the race, in his pre-race interview, Norris said that they would be happy with anything better than 10th. So to finish 5th and 6th is pretty.
And to finish further ahead of both Ferraris.
Yeah. Lando Norris needs to stop doing himself a distrust, though, because or disjustice even, because there has only been one race this season where he hasn't finished in the top 5.
Wow, that's a stat.
And he's the only driver to finish in the points every race this season. Moving on, AlphaTauri.
What,
Pierre Gasly, 7th place. Impressive.
Pierre was very impressive, but I had to laugh at qualifying whenever they were talking about Tsunoda not being able to reach one of the fences. And the next thing he had backed himself into one.
Yeah, they said that everyone would do very well to reach a barrier, and then Tsunoda finds the wall with a real strange accident.
That's because he figured the only way he could get over the barrier was to jump on the car and go over it. That was it.
Got a leg up.
That's it. Get a leg up.
When Chris said about him reaching the barrier there, I just imagined him trying to reach the top of the barrier from because he's so small.
It's the reason he's slow is he has to deal with the excess weight from the booster seat.
Maybe he doesn't even control the car. Maybe it's like you do with the kids when you put them in the car. You put the fake little steering wheel in and the pedals. Maybe someone else is controlling the car.
Too much to drink.
Well, they said they had to come up with a device to extend his pedals for him, didn't they? Because it was last season's car was built for Kvyat.
Yeah.
And judging by how much he's struggling to control the car in qualifying at the moment, I can only think that method is the same one they used for Warwick Davis on Top Gear, where they strapped some Pringles to the bottom of his foot. He did have a good recovery drive, though. Yeah. I mean, granted, he didn't finish in the points, but to go from 20th to 13th in a race where no one had a DNF, that's still good going.
Yeah. He was very happy with his race pace in the post-race interview as well. He said that he felt like he think it was second stint. He said he felt it really clicked for him, and it was the feeling that he hadn't had in the car for like the whole weekend. So he's obviously got something in there. But then, as we were saying, Gasly was brilliant again. Just can't
that
get
goes without saying, to be honest, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm kind of glad for him that he did end up back at the sister team after being kicked out of Red Bull, because he was too good a driver to let go, and I think he's definitely proven that now.
Yeah, it's being proven.
Yeah.
He needs somewhere to go.
What's going to happen to him next year? Because
It's about.
I think
you
he's
see him
stuck in
saying
that.
to
I think he's
Russell?
stuck in that program. I think he's stuck in the AlphaTauri seat.
He's,
I was fully convinced that the Alpine with the rebrand would want a French race winner, but they've now signed Ocon for 3 years extension on his current contract this week. So
Fully deserved.
Yeah.
fully deserved, 100% from Ocon's perspective. But I think that has really screwed over Gasly. I think he's got nowhere. Just leaves him with nowhere to go, because that was where I thought he would
But
end
you
up.
see,
Yeah.
as a driver that's stuck, I would not be able to help myself but look at what's happening with Grosjean and Ericsson in IndyCar.
Is it not a step
And-
down though
Yeah.
from Formula One?
Why would it
do
be
you
a
think?
step down?
It's a spec series.
IndyCar is not. IndyCar.
I think that IndyCar is a step sideways. I wouldn't class it
Yeah.
as a step
No.
down. If you're going to be at the front end of an IndyCar series,
You're at the front end, maybe, but
I just think it's completely different in
when you're
America.
stuck with nowhere to go,
It's
Red Bull's only going to keep Gasly in that car for so long.
well, they kind of have to keep him in there because he's a great
Well,
benchmark for whoever
they
is in
have-
that second seat because he performs
they
so
have the
well in
kids
consistency in
coming-
it.
They have their kids coming through on the GP2.
Yeah.
They can't keep a driver in that seat. They've been really open, saying that that's their feeder seat.
Yeah, but I think if anything, it's Tsunoda that still loses that seat if anyone loses it because he came up too soon. He needed another year in F2.
I
yeah,
think Gasly's too good
Maybe-
to stay there.
yeah, but like we just say, like he can't really step up anywhere. You know, where's he really gonna go? He can't go to. He can't really go.
Yeah.
He can't go to Alpine. He can't go to
Aston
Aston
Martin.
Martin because they're locked in.
yeah. If it had gone tits up for Vettel, I think that's where he would have
Possibly
Yeah, there's nowhere.
Alpha
But
at a
Vettel-
push, but
Maybe Alfa Romeo, but do you really want to go to Alfa Romeo?
that's it.
I mean, no
It's-
one knows what's going to happen. I think your best place, if you are Pierre Gasly,
It's just
is to stay there for another
there,
season in 2021. No one else is coming in to take that seat, so I'd keep hold of it.
I would use this season to show Red Bull what they lost.
I think he's been doing that for the
I'd turn
for the past
turn
couple of
tail and walk
seasons.
away.
he's
You've
been
got
showing
Grosjean
them.
out there that's qualifying high, just needs to complete the race. And you've got Ericsson that's just had his first race win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And IndyCar's the place to be.
You look at
if
Rossi.
you can't make
Rossi
it.
went and made a career for himself.
Yeah,
Alex Rossi's
Rossi
a good shout.
did. And
Not Max Chilton though. Max Chilton doesn't even turn up to the right country sometimes.
I think Max
Oh,
is
poor
there
Max.
just so he can buy Chloe another gift every time he goes. I think it's kind of a monetary value for him. He just likes to prance around the paddock and such. That is my wholehearted opinion on Max Chilton.
We now know tonight's IndyCar race.
Obviously, this is pre-recorded before. I will do a retake if it is, so I don't sound so stupid.
I don't want to know. I was so happy for Patrice Award last week.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I think
that
everyone
was an amazing drive and amazing win.
he's another one you could throw in the F1 hat.
Why he would not want to go there?
If something opened up,
Have you not seen the interview with him and
he's
Zach
got
Brown?
he's got a test, hasn't he? He's secured
got
a test.
at
He's
the
got
end
a
of the
test, and he's
season, but-
desperate to have a test
Yeah,
in
but
F1
that's-
car.
And I'm
Yeah, anybody would want to drive a car. But Patrice, why would he want to leave a team where he's already won 2 races this season and go to a series where it's like backwards? And while we're talking about IndyCar, it has to be said that the aero screen saved
Rosenquist from at the
From a
very
serious
least serious
headache.
injury.
Yeah,
Yeah.
From a serious hand injury.
I'm
yeah.
actually really starting to like that error screen a lot more than I did at first. And to be fair, I like
I'm
it
a big
a lot
fan of
more.
them both.
I like
Every
it more
time
than
I
the
say so.
Halo. I don't know what it is.
But they cut the halo. The halo's installed inside it.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, it's the Halo with a bit of
Ballistic
Like,
glass
yeah.
around it.
ballistic glass around it. Yeah. But just quickly while we were talking about Pato Award, I mean, you say why would you want to come to F1? Sergio Perez, also Mexican, is a rock star back there. Would you not want to be a rock star? Have that level of fame?
It's a rock star.
Perez is so, but he's a hero in
You nearly said Turkey.
in
Mexico.
I need to say Turkey because I've got Sky Sports News on the background and I've just seen highlights of that game. That's really distracting. I was only on it's only on for the in case there's any F1 news breaking up. But yeah, no. Sergio Perez is a megastar in Mexico, and why wouldn't Patricio want to be that as well?
Because he already is. He's
You think
got
there's that
so
level?
many fans out there.
He's humming. He's not on
He's
a
not on that Perez level, is he?
Yeah, but he's only been running a couple of years.
That's true.
But you know, I watch a lot of car channels and what have you on YouTube, and he's been idolised by the Mexicans on there. People have got to stop thinking of IndyCar as being beneath F1 because F1 carries its own arse up way too high.
Yeah, I just think it's completely different.
Great thing to say on an F1 podcast.
It's
But it does, doesn't it? Let's be honest.
It does.
It's up its own arse.
it's meant to be the pinnacle of engineering and motorsport. So
It could be that way next year, though, with all the regulation changes. We don't know.
At least in IndyCar, you can overtake.
You can overtake today. We proved today you can overtake.
The DRS.
Well, you could overtake with a tyre advantage, but you couldn't overtake with a similar tyre set.
I think we should bring in the push to pass seconds for Formula One. I think it's getting a little boost.
Well, I like that.
Well, you've got overtake, haven't you?
Yeah, but I mean like
they don't have DRS.
The like visualization of allotting them seconds per race, so you can see who's got a bit more left and who's been absolutely smashing their button to stay in their position.
What is it? 120.
Oh yeah, it would be interesting. It would be interesting if it was capped per race. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so you start off not a cap to the limit you can lose per lap, but you have a limit to how many seconds that you can use per race.
No, I know how it works.
You have that
Tim. God, comes back on a podcast after 22 away, throwing it around. Where's the lovable American? Tim's very mean.
I was explaining it for any viewers of our listeners who do not watch IndyCar on a regular basis, because that might be a bit confusing to them as to what we were saying there.
What isn't confusing for our listeners is the best place to go to for 3D printed track wall art. Because, as always, this podcast is sponsored by Apex Tracks, 3D printed track wall art. To get any track off the F1 calendar, 3D printed as wall art for you, head to apextracks.com. That's apextraxs.com. That's apextracks.com. Chris dancing around with
steering wheel.
Silverstone. The Silverstone track, which is the next.
To start a new competition.
Almost time, yes. Keep an eye out on the lead up to Silverstone. There will be a competition running on Twitter and Instagram. So make sure you follow us on those. They're both at Formula One Fans UK. That's with the number 1. There's a competition coming up on how you can win some track wall art again. Anyway, back to the race. Shall we talk about Alpine?
Is there anything to say?
Alonso, 8th.
I thought Alonso was fantastic all weekend.
He could finish last, and you would say he was fantastic.
I do have a love for Fernando Alonso.
You think he walks on rose petals?
Yeah.
He does. He probably does. Where he gets off the plane in Spain and has local children that drop rose petals in front of him.
Qualified 8th, finished 8th in an Alpine like that.
God.
Well,
I think he's put that car above where you.
Someone needs to get Chris a snack. Calm down, mate. God, Chris is getting a little feisty today.
I think Alpine have got to be the most overhyped team this season.
I don't know.
The biggest hype and returned it with the lowest amount of points.
I'd say the most overhyped has been Aston Martin, but we'll keep on Alpine just for now. I mean, Alonso was great. Ocon's got his new contract. I mean, he finished 14th.
Ocon
was anonymous this weekend. Yeah, he. I would have expected more from him given the new contract. You think he'd be on a bit of a high?
Well, let's be honest. His race engineer didn't even know he had a new contract till yesterday.
No, that's got to have been totally faked for the media covering the race and the radio and all that sort of stuff. Because
still didn't sound great, though, did it?
No, but if we knew, there's no way he didn't know. What, you gonna tell me man's not got Twitter or something?
Even Crofty was like, "Well, we knew that 2 days ago."
Yeah.
Wow. If Crofty was ahead of the game of someone, then there's something really wrong.
Yeah, I'm starting to go a little bit off Crofty. I'm not gonna lie. He kind of lost me when he said about being stoked. I don't think he should say that again. It really threw me off. And also he did call Nikita Mazepin. He called him Mazepin, so he's kind of bringing it back a bit there.
Yeah, that's.
He's not spun recently though, has he?
No. I almost feel like I'm the Crofty of the group because he just spouts nonsense and then he has to get corrected.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd say that's what you are. You are the Crofty of this podcast.
I just say a load of stuff that doesn't make any sense and then it gets fact checked and then we have to redo the podcast. It's great. Moving on. Yeah.
Moving on to Aston Martin, 9th and 10th.
Yeah.
Double point finish. One of only 4 teams to achieve that.
They ran really long though, didn't they?
It's an improvement.
Did they run really long?
They ran very long.
I think that's what saved them. If I'm honest, I think if they'd have stuck to normal pit strategy, they'd have got swallowed up to 15th, 14th, 15th maybe.
Vettel was flying early on.
Yeah.
Vettel was flying early on.
Yeah, I think it's an improvement of where they were stood at the start of the season. We've had a couple of good sort of proper races at the start of the season. Then we've had the Mickey Mouse in the middle. And now we're back to normal. And Aston Martin have shown a slight progression after the Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And not many other teams have shown that.
Yeah. Obviously, he had that second place in Baku, didn't he? So he's...
Yeah, but that was a Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, but I mean,
but
what I'm saying is, I think that kind of give him, I think it's kind of invigorated the team that they can pull something off.
Talking of Baku, I didn't get to say my piece on it last week.
And you're not going to do it this week either.
And you guys were slagging me off. I need to have my piece.
Right. Let's let him go before we get another cease and desist.
Right. Listen up. Lewis. What a muppet. Pirelli needs a serious smack and need to go down and sit in a kiddie pool for a while because this isn't the first time they've had stupid tires on with stupid tire pressures and haven't controlled what's going on because was it last year before they had 2 blowouts on the main straight and now it's happening again.
I'm not sure where it was. They had a failure for Bottas. But that was a puncture. That was a puncture. The Bottas one.
No, the
a couple of years
second
ago.
one was. But it's unacceptable what happened there, and it was dangerous. I'm not just holding blame with the tire manufacturer, the FIA, and the race stewards needs seriously looked at. Because how long was it before they put that safety car out? I thought that was disgusting.
Yeah. No, we agreed on that last week. But keeping with Pirelli, quickly before moving on to Williams, they got it wrong again really today, didn't they? With one-stop strategy and saying how long a set of tyres can last, and a lot of teams finding that really wasn't the case and having to pit for safety with vibrations.
Didn't Pirelli
I
say
don't.
like 44 laps? Was it that Pirelli said it would go, or 40 laps?
44 laps.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean there was some teams that were never going to achieve that.
It was like
I don't.
The track temperature today was 20 degrees less than the Friday, which is what they produced that data on. So they could not have predicted a 20
Wait,
plus
you say
degree
that
lowering.
we all have the weather forecast, Tim. We all have historical data. Well, we don't. They do. So surely they should know better.
I don't think Pirelli should be telling teams how long the tyres are going to last.
I mean, yeah, that's why teams do their long round pace, I guess.
I think it's just one of them nice statistics that they throw up for people watching at home on the TV. I personally believe that's what it is.
Pretty much Amazon Web Services call up Pirelli and go, we need some bullshit to throw on a graphic. Can you tell us? Can you tell us this? I mean, the Bottas one today, the Hamilton Verstappen one today annoyed me. It was like, oh, striking distance 7 laps. Well, Bottas was in between.
How do they know that?
It's like, Tim is triggered right now. It's his least favourite advert going anywhere. But it's like 7 laps. It's like, well, Bottas is in between. And as we said, like, Bottas offers no protection whatsoever. But
also, the medium tyres were wearing off, so the gap became less because it took 14 or 15 laps. And when they said it was,
once again, Amazon Web Services. Oh, they're amazing. They're really not. They're really not.
Yeah. It's litter.
Should we talk about Williams?
Wait, quickly before we go back.
Yep.
The Pirelli issues that they've created for themselves did lead to an interesting French Grand Prix. So on that note, thank you for Pirelli for ballsing up. There you go.
Thank you, Pirelli, for screwing the pooch.
That's
Thank you,
it,
for screwing the pooch and giving us something to laugh about.
Yeah. And a decent French race.
And Mercedes too. Yeah, Mercedes too. But yeah, messing it up. Williams, George Russell, 12th. 12th. It's in the right direction. It's not terrible. And with that, they're back above Haas in the Drivers' Championship.
That's got to be a relief for sure.
That's
it really has.
They were below them is shocking.
I think it shows that they are making positive moves towards the middle of the grid instead of the back. And I also think it shows what George is wringing out of that car compared to his Canadian teammate Latifi. It's phenomenal what he's getting out of that absolute dog shit car.
Can I just say, I think that the incident with Mick Schumacher on Saturday in qualifying, George was past him and was still on his lap when they called the red flag. They surely, not that at that point, they could be running double waved yellows at the crash and have let any cars that have passed the crash site finish their laps. Like, he was something like 5-6 seconds away from finishing.
Yeah, that would work if drivers respected double wave yellows, which is Michael Massey's already gone to them multiple times this season. We bring out red flags now because you guys don't respect double wave yellows.
But yet take 20 minutes to put a safety car out. It's
I think that they may have learnt this weekend or been scared by the drivers' reactions to what happened in Baku, so they are going to be more trigger happy with the safety cars and the red flag.
It still took them a
while.
Everyone down. It still took them a while to put it out, though.
Oh yeah, the Sonoda one. It was a long time for the double wave yellows.
But I think that's because they wanted to give him the chance to get restarted, didn't they?
But the Schumacher one, they were quick. They were very quick with Schumacher.
I personally think that when there are red flags and stuff like that, and you've got a proportion, like a high proportion of the drivers on hot laps that that haven't done laps and stuff like that, there should be a discretionary time within the FIA to allow like an extra 5 minutes, maybe like one out lap and another hot lap maybe. I think because there's a lot of drivers that get but there's a lot of drivers that get dipped out by it. every time.
Going back to Baku,
Again?
that red flag restart. Make your mind up. Standard start or
Yeah.
running
No,
start.
it was the right decision, and they explained that. I know you're going on about Imola, but they did explain it was because the track was different levels of wet and dry, so it wasn't safe to do it was not safe to do a standing start.
There was no need to do a standing start with 2 laps to go.
I loved it. I thought it was brilliant until Hamilton went off, and then I was having strongly mixed emotions.
Oh, yeah. I think I said on the podcast I nearly threw the remote through the
You
TV.
you did a walkout.
I was very upset.
Is what you said. You did a walkout.
I did. At that point,
For me,
I was
the way
done.
I saw that was that Perez could and should have lost his lead because we're having Mickey Mouse standing starts. He had earned that lead of that race.
Yeah.
And almost lost it to Lewis. And I don't think that's fair. And I don't think standing starts should be something that we're doing.
I don't think we're ever going to please... Yeah, but I don't think we're ever going to please everybody, are we?
Anyway, moving back to this race and finishing off Williams, Nicholas Latifi drove around the track for 53 laps and 18th. And anyway, moving on to Alfa Romeo. Giovinazzi.
Williams come before for Alfa Romeo.
George was 12th. Yeah, the next.
That's how good George
Alfa Romeo, thanks to Giovinazzi in 15th and Raikkonen 17th. I think it was where they belong, really, though. Given they were ahead of Latifi, behind Russell.
Yeah, but it needs to be the other way around.
They split the Williams. With Ocon and Tsunoda there. Ocon having a struggling race. Oh, and of course Leclerc as well struggled. Tsunoda drove well.
I think Raikkonen's head's already in 6 Flags.
I just think it was.
I don't think he'll race next season.
No, I just think it was a poor. Since they unloaded the cars, it's been poor for them. I think that they would have been probably aiming for maybe 15th, 16th, but I think this is, I think they're walking away not.
Yeah, I mean, 15 was
unimpressed. They kind of expected it
in a race where everyone finished, and then being in the 8th best car. 15th really was their ceiling this weekend.
Yeah.
Of course, this weekend because of George, they are the 9th best car. Which leaves us to the worst car on the grid. Haas.
Well, Mick Schumacher's learned something from his dad, hasn't he?
Get your result in qualifying by sticking it in the wall.
Yes.
Good lap, though.
What's a good lap?
It shows how much he's pushing that car. He's having more accidents than Mazepin now, but he's so much faster. You can see that the accidents are because he is right on a knife edge with that car. He's driving it so much on the limit to get that much out of it.
There was a movie. I can't remember whether it was Days of Thunder or whatever, but there was a line in it where they said you can slow someone down, but you can't speed them up. And Mick Schumacher, he's someone that they need to rein back, and Mazepin is somebody that you just can't teach to drive faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also going
Couldn't
with racing movies, and I feel this might be what's time to bring up the back of Tsunoda's car when it had the accident. That's shake and bake, baby. That's shake and bake. That was bizarre.
Weird, wasn't it?
That had to be a C's gearbox. That's not just the grippy ground.
Yeah.
On a side note of the grippy ground, I didn't feel sick this year, so that's a plus. Because every year I watch it, it makes me want to throw up.
Did you watch it on Ultra HD this year?
I did indeed.
So you can see it, better clarity.
Well, I would hope so for an extra, however much more I pay a month to Sky. Obviously, other subscriptions are available, just not in this country. What I would be able to get, what I'd give to pay £2.29 a month to F1
Not
TV.
for us.
I was about to say, not for us.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. We'll finish off Haas. There's only there's two other things to note, really. One thing of note was Schumacher being forced off by Mazepin. What was that all about? Again?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I remember them talking about it.
Was that in the race?
In the race.
I remember them talking about it.
It was an unusual. It was pretty much Mazepin had a run on Schumacher into turn 1, I think it was, and then forced him off on the exit of turn 2, forced him off the track on the outside. And then he had to go and take that really long escape road, which looks almost like a bit of a drag strip.
Right. Why are we discussing this, of the turn 1 and stuff, right? I was watching the replay of Max's turn 2 incident. He wasn't at turn 2.
Yeah.
He was in between turn 2 and turn 1. So at what point
do you want to make a marginal decision if you're Michael Massey that could affect the championship? The man's got no balls. He's not even got the balls to deploy a safety car on time.
I watched it and I felt it was turn 1, and that's not even being a Lewis fan. That's being a race fan. That is before turn 2, before you cross from the right to the left to take turn 2. He was at turn 1. It's a turn 1 incident, but yet he wasn't penalised.
It's first lap.
And he didn't go through.
It's first lap. These things happen on the first lap.
Yeah, you say that though, but in Russia last season, Carlos Sainz was reprimanded heavily. I think it was Carlos Sainz for not taking the escape road on lap 1.
What's the point in putting this very clear rule that they are enforcing vigorously to then not enforce it?
He lost positions at the end of the day. So is that
he lost the position, and you do lose a.
He finished first.
I mean, it depends really where you sit on it, or where they sit.
I don't know.
They sat on it being turn 2, so that's why they didn't punish it. And Perez has got away with his track limit sort of violation on the Bottas move. Yeah. The other thing was Schumacher seemed just to get Mazepin back with an undercut. It's like, we're not going to risk racing those, or overcut even. It's like, we're not going to even risk those boys racing each other on track anymore, and they sort of moved Mazepin out the way almost with strategy.
It's just a clever thing to do.
Yeah.
Tim, control your family.
Hang on 1 second. Need her out, sorry.
Listen, we're trying to do professional work here.
Try to do professional work, and there is a cat.
Yeah.
There's a
Tim,
cat.
be professional.
Sorry.
Tim's got pussy all over the bedroom.
meowing.
Come on, Tim,
So
sort it
that'll
out.
be on your audio somewhere.
I think we might leave it at that.
Your screen is wobbling all over the place like the back of a Haas. It was anyway for a minute.
Like the back of a Haas.
No, back of a Haas gone into the wall.
Don't you mean the back of Alpha Tauri?
Well, it wasn't AlphaTauri this week. It was Sonoda this week, but we are going to...
Right, do you think... Do you think in the drivers' meeting that they all take like a bingo number on who's going to crash this week?
You don't have to talk some shit. Listen, Fabio Briatore isn't around anymore.
Oh dear. And I think we've all lost our train of thought now.
I know exactly where my train of thought is. It is focusing on these overpaid drivers that can't keep it in a straight line or out of a wall.
When was the last time you crashed your car?
But I've never had one.
What a load of...
But when was the last time you drove a car that produces like over 1,000 horsepower and
earlier on Mario Kart? Come fast. Shh, it's the same. The maths are the same.
Isn't that 150 cc?
when you say that Dan hasn't crashed, or Dan says he hasn't crashed, you've got to remember Dan's never going fast enough to crash by his punctuality for the podcast. He's always running behind and too slow.
No. Wait, right. So you're gonna have a pop at me for being late when someone that is clearly on our screen that oversleeps by an hour, twice, several times. I find that very out of order.
Last week I overslept. The week before I said I wasn't coming on.
No. What about the week before that?
I was
and
here.
The week before that?
I was here. I've only missed 2.
Yeah. Sleepy time.
I'm just going to keep quiet because my last podcast was Imola.
Yes. And I'm still not sure if we had an upgrade or a downgrade having you back, but it's.
I like listening to the American.
Yeah.
How's your American accent, Tim?
Rubbish. I'm not even going to try.
Damn it! We nearly baited him into it.
We nearly got it. And with that failed futile attempt, we will wrap the podcast up. We hope you enjoyed listening. If you have, share us with your friends. If you want to connect with us, you can find a link in the bio to this podcast with links to all our socials. If you want to search for us, we are Formula One Fans UK on Facebook, and on Twitter and Instagram we are at Formula One Fans UK. Make sure you, if you do click on the link in the bio, to check out our shop and keep an eye out for the upcoming competitions. Until next time, thank you very much for listening. Cheerio, guys.
Cheerio, guys.
See you later, guys.
What a muppet.